Energizer, and I am on the Blue Review. Hey, this is Sean Green. You're watching the Blue Review.
Happy Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. I'm almost on the wrong day.
No, Wednesday. We're not going backwards in time. We're going towards the weekend.
Always forward, never backwards. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant. That is Greg Bergman. And job not fully done, but Series 1 in Toronto. So that's always a plus, right?
Yeah, always nice to beat the Blue Jays, especially at Rogers Center. And there's a lot to talk about this because I really don't appreciate what manager John Schneider was doing.
Besides turning red like a tomato as he got in the face of an umpire last night. Yeah, we'll get into that and plenty more as the Dodgers win 4-1. Take the first two games of the series from the Blue Jays at Rogers Center. But first, as always, want to let you know the Blue Review is powered by LAX. We're taking off. Learn more about all the incredible changes happening now at LAX by going to lawa.org/ESPN. So, another good night for the Dodgers, a night where the bottom of the order showed up. All 4 runs, if I have this right, scored by either Ha-Seong Kim or Alex Freeland. So after Shohei and Freddie and Kyle Tucker were getting it done the last few nights, it's good to see the bottom part of the lineup show up and play well.
Yeah, and especially a guy like Alex Freeland, who we just talked about yesterday. It was like, okay, is it time to start talking about Alex Freeland? And we said, no, probably not just about yet. But the fact is that he wasn't hitting and he wasn't seeing good pitches. He wasn't doing the things that why they picked him over Ha-Seong Kim. And he had a great game yesterday. So it was nice to see Alex Freeland step up and start, getting some hits and playing good defense. The bottom of the lineup, it was all from the bottom. And that's why, I love watching Ha-Seong Kim play baseball. It's all the little things. He just plays hard. And, he's full out every single time. And get a couple of hits. And the double early on was really nice, too.
Yeah, he had a double early on in the ball game, had another really good defensive play over at shortstop. Maybe not as eye-popping as that catch he had a couple of nights ago, but just a softly hit ground ball that he charged and made a really good throw on. I don't know. Many people are saying, Greg, that this could be the best middle infield in the game right now with Ha-Seong Kim and Alex Freeland. The way they are playing defense, the way they're starting to hit the ball. I'm just saying, I'll be glad to have Mookie Betts back and Tommy Edman back. But right now, maybe the best young middle infield at all the game.
So from our group chat, it kept progressing. So some people are saying, many people are saying, and it was just people are saying, and then it's the best middle infield ever. So it's just been moving up down the line all throughout the day yesterday. But yeah, look, this middle infield, it's great. It's a very defensive-oriented middle infield, which that's what you want off of the defense. But the fact that they're hitting too really helps that. But both of them are going to be out of a job in just a couple of weeks. But that's fine. The fact that they have the confidence are going to be up here and play well, I love it.
Absolutely love it. No, they're playing some really good baseball. It was good to see Freeland sort of break out of his slump a little bit last night. So we'll see. He's going to get more opportunities to play, obviously, as the days go along. So it'd be interesting to see if he can sort of continue this momentum from what we saw last night. On the flip side of things, I guess on the pitching side of things, hey, man, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, still good at pitching. Still good at beating the Blue Jays, apparently, is the big takeaway from last night.
Yeah, he just loves pitching against the Blue Jays, doesn't he? He goes up to Rogers Center and he's like, oh, yeah, I belong here, just shooting down his throats. But he was really, really good for the first 5 innings. He got into some trouble. He was at 61 pitches through 5 innings. And I was like, oh, my God, this guy's going to go full. And then in the 6th inning, just was really struggling to get outs. He did allow one run. I think it's a George Springer hit, but he allowed one run to go through to come across. But that was it. He held it down. He was a very intense inning for him. I think he threw close to almost 30 pitches in that inning. And then they brought him out for the 7th, and I was like, wow, he just really struggled to 6th. He's already at like 85, 88 pitches. Is it really worth it to bring him out? And then he immediately was like, you got to let a guy get on base. And it took a lot of pitches too. So he ended up somewhere around 95 would be my guess. I don't have it exactly in front of me, but 97. But it was not great towards the end of it. So look, Yama's an amazing pitcher. And what you saw in the first 5 innings is what you'll typically see throughout the season. But, it's just he kind of lost control a little bit there.
I thought it was ambitious for Dave Roberts to bring him out for the 7th inning, just because, as you mentioned, the 6th was a little bit of a struggle. The Jays were starting to have some good bats against him. So I was kind of surprised to see that. But, once he got a couple of guys on, they went to Alex Vesia, who, shout out to Alex Vesia, had a bases loaded, no out situation. He walks the first guy he faces and then gets out of it. The noble tiger. Is what we're calling it. The no outs bases. Wait, I can see now. I always have to.
The E is always what gets me.
The E is what gets me every single time. No outs, bases loaded, ending team incapable of getting easy run. So,
that's so good. Yeah, I mean the Dodgers did it earlier in the game too. Like they got runs across. They had 1st and 3rd and nobody out. And there was a double play. They got an out, and then a double play ball that I think it was Will Smith beat out.
Yeah,
so they could score a run there. Otherwise, they would have had their own noble tiger. But this the noble tiger. What was the other one you used to use? It wasn't always just
Tootblon is my favorite.
Yeah, Tootblon.
Yes, thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop. That is that is easily my favorite. But noble tiger, I like it. It just the E throws me off, and you don't get as many chances to use noble tiger. It's just it doesn't happen quite as often. So
did you see after Alex Vesia? What he did. Look, this is what Yamamoto did with him. But the smile on Yamamoto's face. It was giant. It was ear to ear smile. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he got out of that. Alex Vesia, man, this guy. From everything that he has gone through over the last year, with losing his daughter and not being able to play in the World Series, but rightfully so because of what he was dealing with him and his wife, and then to come back and just be so good and get out of those. I love Alex Vesia so much because of the fire that he has at all times, and this is exactly what I feel like he would have done if he was in the World Series and playing at Rogers Center.
No, 100%. And I was thinking last night when he got out of that, how far he's sort of come just as a pitcher, right? I mean, this is a guy who was your villain, 2 seasons ago? I mean, just because you just never knew what you were going to get with Alex Vesia. But the last 2 years, he has been just completely nails coming out of the bullpen. And last night was another example of that, just to work through that situation without giving up a run, keeping it at that point at a 3-1 game, just absolutely incredible. And so he's been really just one of the pillars of that bullpen. I mean, he's been very high up in the trust tree for a while now, and it's sort of good to see that continuing. But I guess as long going along that line, Blake Trinan back high up in the trust tree again. He had another scoreless outing, just a perfectly clean inning for Blake Trinan. So it's good to see him sort of coming back. Edwin Diaz, gave up a hit and a walk, made it a little bit interesting, but also struck out 3 guys. And so I guess that's part of the Edwin Diaz experience from what I understand.
Oh yeah, no, very much so. So Alex Vesia, to finish up on that, is a proud graduate of the Villain School.
The Villain Academy.
He did exactly it all worked out for him. He got better because of being the villain. Conforto failed. He failed out. Just didn't work out. Blake Trinan, he looks like he did 2 years ago. This is what he does. He's every other year Blake, and it's amazing to me that this has been throughout his career. If they go look at the stats. Every other year he is either good or bad. It switches back and forth. Last year was the bad year. So far this year he's fitting with the trend, and he's the good Blake Trinan, because you can tell when he's good Blake Trinan when the pitches are going both ways and they just move. The movement on them are insane. You don't know which way they're going to go. If we had Rob Friedman on, which I'm still trying to get him on, but if you can see his pitches both start here, and then one of them goes whoo, and then the other one goes boom, and you just don't know where it's going to go. So it's when he's on, he's legitimately unhittable when he is on. Unless
it looks like
you get unlucky with it, throw a bat out and be like, "Oh, I got it."
It looks like a wiffle ball when he's right. I mean, it's just the way it moves is mind-boggling to me. So, but it's good to see Blake Trinan, coming back to where he was last year. Obviously, a huge disappointment. So now he looks like he's back to being a guy that you can trust. And look, with Vesia pitching well, Tanner Scott has looked good in his opportunities. Blake Trinan pitching well. You know who you have for the ninth inning. But what makes me feel great about this, Greg, is that on those days where Diaz is unavailable, if they've used him, say, 2 nights in a row, or he had a particularly long outing, now we're back to the point where you feel great about any one of these other guys. You can bring Scott back for a ninth inning, which used to be his job. You can bring Trinan in for ninth inning. And now you feel a level of confidence that we didn't have that last year with those guys.
No, absolutely not. They were really overtaxed last year, but now this year, you're right. Tanner Scott has looked kind of like the old Tanner Scott too, which is what we both said this. We expected this to happen, right? Like that last year was an anomaly. He just couldn't figure out. He said it was the worst. He hated baseball. The baseball hates him.
Baseball hates him. Yeah.
It just the stuff just wasn't landing correctly, and now it is. And so this bullpen, I can't imagine all cylinders are going to continue to hit all season long. But what you see right now is what you kind of expect when you get to the postseason, is that you have one of the best offenses in all of baseball. You have one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball. You have one of those bullpens in all of baseball, and you're really, really good defensively now. Yeah. So the way that Andrew Friedman built this team was to not have to do anything at trade deadlines. And this year, if things hold up, which they never do, but if things hold up, he might not have to go out and get some big name at the trade deadline. He may not have to be in like, oh God, we're out of starter. We need a number 1 starter, or we need someone to hit third in the lineup. I think right now they're feeling really good. 9-2.
Yeah, 9-2, 4 games up on the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, so that part is very good. The Blue Jays obviously got all the way to the World Series, pushed the Dodgers to the very brink in Game 7. It has not been a good start to the season for Toronto right now. They are 4-7. They've lost 6 in a row. They are not scoring runs. Their pitching's been okay. I mean, I know they gave up the 14 to the Dodgers the other night, but pretty much held them down to just the 4 runs last night. Kevin Gausman pitched a pretty good game. But things sort of went sideways for them midway through. What inning was that? Was it the 5th inning, where Ha-Seong Kim gets on base, then forces Kevin Gausman into a balk, which then sent John Schneider into a fit of rage. That is not a bearded tomato on your screen. That is Toronto Blue Jays manager John Schneider. You're sort of throwing the BS flag on this, right? You're saying this was a little bit of performance art from Schneider last night?
Yeah, completely. There was no reason. And look, you can say whatever you want to say, that it's like, there was a lot of bad calls. I don't even think I saw very many bad calls. Either way, this umpire wasn't doing anything that was out of control. Like, it's that everything had to be challenged. It wasn't like CB Buckner.
Yeah.
This kind of, it was performance art completely into the fullest. He was very frustrated with his team not being able to score runs. Been frustrated the team all year hasn't been able to score runs. They only scored 3 in this game. They only scored 7 over the weekend, and they only scored 3 in the first 2 games against the Dodgers. They're not scoring runs, and they're also giving up a lot of hits, and they're giving up runs on the pitching side. Gausman was good for the most part, but had Yamamoto on their side. This was fake. This was him going out there saying, throw me out of the game because I want to hype my guys up. I'm going to keep yelling at you so when you get me up, come on, throw me out so my guys can get hyped up. It doesn't, this isn't back in the 1980s. This isn't Tommy Lasorda losing his mind over something. This is a fake outrage by John Schneider, and it was very, very obvious. There's no way you get to be that red over a balk call. Get out of here.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was It was a balk. Like it's just like that didn't seem like the thing that was going to set him off, but apparently it did. He tossed his hat, he started screaming, he got run, he got his money's worth out of it. So I guess you can say that. It also failed to fire up the Blue Jays in any way because they scored that one run in the sixth, and then that was it. So
they fired him up to get a bases loaded, nobody out, and not bring anybody in.
Yeah, I mean, so like, congratulations on inspiring a noble tiger.
The other thing was because I saw them, like, okay, John Boy is going to do something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna see, okay, what is he actually saying? Doing the lip reading, and John Boy will do it. I didn't see anything. Now maybe he's done it by now, but I was looking all last night, couldn't find anything. So even John Boy, I think, believes me at this point.
This isn't real.
I'm not even wasting my time with this fake outrage.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there is anything. I don't see anything yet, but we'll keep an eye out for it. Meanwhile, down in Anaheim, there was actually legit rage between the Braves and the Angels. Now, I don't know what exactly precipitated this. I only saw from the moment Jorge Soler just took off toward the mound.
Oh,
but I don't know do you know what came before all this?
So, yeah, there was a play. So Jorge Soler was at the plate, and there was a stolen base attempt, and the catcher for the Braves, which I don't know who it is right now, threw down to second base and actually got the guy out at second base. And Jorge Soler just stood there staring right at Reynaldo Lopez, just dead eye, did not move the entire time. So the catcher gets up, throws, and Soler is just staring at him, dead eye, boom, the entire time. And they apparently sometimes they go, you want to go, you want to square up, whatever you want to do. And then he just bolted at him and throwing punches. I don't know exactly what happened earlier in that bat. I just saw the point where they just had a one shot on Soler staring dead eye right at him.
I mean, I've seen Walt Weiss.
I don't want to mess with. I'm not messing with Jorge Soler.
No, I'm not messing with Jorge Soler. But I saw Walt Weiss kind of came in and, plugging the guy with the baseball in your hand. I guess that's a sort of novel approach. Not one you see very often.
The baseball was in his hand. Look at this. So the baseball's in his hand.
In his hand.
Yeah,
and he
hits him right in the face.
Hits Soler across the face with it.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hit you right in the jaw.
You're gonna have like a cut from the stitches or something. So we'll see what Soler looks like now. I have an update. John Boyd just posted like a minute or two ago that he's working on the breakdown from last night's Angels Braves game, and I think he's made that the priority over the Schneider thing.
It was fake.
The Schneider thing is coming. It sounds like just you're gonna have to wait until he gets through Braves Angels before you get that. So
yeah, okay.
Someone said that he's as red as Marcus's shirt. Kind of.
Oh, someone in the chat called Rogers Center Dodger Center.
I mean, at this point, it kind of is now, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
it's Denny Cortez. Denny Cortez said Dodger Center. Yeah, that's from now until the end of time. That is the Dodger Center. Well done, Denny.
They've won 4 in a row there, so why not? I mean, that's kind of what it is. Yeah, SK Wonderful saying the pitcher punched Soler with the ball. Absolutely did. Oh, okay, so here it is. Apparently, according to the kid, Soler hit a home run earlier in the game. Braves pitcher threw two high and inside fastballs, and Soler took offense to that.
Yeah, he did. Apparently, he did not like that because he was staring. Boom. It was awesome.
I mean, I figured there had to be some sort of inciting incident, but like everything I just saw was Soler charging the mound, and that brought up some old fun baseball words. It was a brouhaha. It was a Donnybrook. Fisticuffs were exchanged. The whole thing.
Oh wow! You got those 3. You got in Noble Tiger.
I threw in a Toot Blonde. It's been a good day.
This was actually a real baseball fight. Real baseball fights typically are terrible. It's a bunch of guys that go out there, they stand around, they yell at each other. Everybody comes in from the bullpen. They all stand around and just look at each other, and then they all go back and go about their merry way. This was actually some punches thrown. There's going to be actual suspensions. It's going to be what it should be.
Are they better or worse than NBA fights? Because I feel like NBA fights are kind of the worst.
No, NBA fights used to be amazing. NBA fights. Remember, like Jeff Van Gundy on the ground holding
on to Alonzo Mourning's leg.
Yeah, like that was fantastic. Now there is no NBA fights anymore. You can't do anything in the NBA.
Well, not really since the Malice and the Palace. I think that kind of put an end to all that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what NBA fights are. They're the someone hold me back.
But there's no one around them. They're just yeah. I think it was Carmelo Anthony, wasn't it? Like Carmelo Anthony was one of those like looking for somebody around like to hold him back.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but that was a good baseball fight. That was. So we'll see what sort of suspensions are coming, because they are for sure coming. Back to the Dodgers though. Game 3 of the series in Toronto, a day game today.
Is it a 10:00 game?
Noon. 12:07 our time, 3:07 in Toronto is the first pitch. And Shohei Ohtani on the mound, making his second start of the season. The first one, pretty good start. He was battling through some raindrops. I don't think he had his best stuff, Greg, but still a pretty good start for Shohei. And I don't know what else to say. Just hopefully he keeps the line moving after a couple decent pitching performances to start this series.
Yeah, he's also the league leader in scoreless innings right now. I think it's 22 2/3 or something along that. But that goes into last year, obviously, which I think is nonsense because he gave up runs in the postseason, and that shouldn't count. But then he's also facing Dylan Cease, who happily I would love to beat up on Dylan Cease like back in the old days, because he is, Dylan Cease was one of those guys that when he was on the White Sox, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is incredible. I want him on the Dodgers. He needs to be on the Dodgers. Then he was on the Padres, and I said, I hate you so much. So happy to beat up on him. But Ohtani, even through everything that through the rain and everything there, he still was using every one of his pitches too. I think he has like 7 or 8 that he uses. So he looks really, really good. Oh, there it is. Shohei Ohtani currently has the longest active on-base streak in baseball with 42 games and the longest active scoreless inning streak among starting pitchers with 22 2/3. I was right on there. Sarah Langs, just the best. Anything Sarah Langs, always happy with.
So Shohei looks to keep both of those streaks going this afternoon. And I don't know, otherwise looking for a 6-0 road trip, which would be fantastic. Remember when people thought the offense was bad and there were problems?
It was 3 games. I mean, it was 6 games. You know who was actually a little bit interesting? I was looking at the standings earlier today. Mm-hmm. The Rockies break up the Rockies.
They're 5-6.
They're 5-6. They've won 3 in a row.
Oh, look at the red hot Rockies.
5 runs in the first month, in the first 2 weeks. Get out of here. I don't think they had until the end of April.
It took them a while to get to 5 wins. You're right. They beat the Phillies and then 2 wins over the Astros. So the Rockies, we might have to eat our words, because we both said easily that they'll be the worst team in the division. And
they probably will. Yeah, they'll probably end up there, but at the same time, the Giants are really trying to be in that same space.
Oof, that's a bad ball club.
It's a really bad ball club. Looking at it too, the Diamondbacks I think will be good at some point. Mm-hmm. But everybody else, I just think they all. It was Watrado, right? That said that San Diego was going to have a losing record this year.
That their win total would start with a 7. That was what he said.
I think he may be right. I don't think they're good enough. I mean, if they get it to Mason Miller, they're good. But at the same time, I don't think they're that good.
Their starting pitching is suspect right now, and they've always had a problem scoring runs consistently. So when you don't score runs and your pitching can't stop the other team from scoring runs, that's a bad combination. And that's kind of where they are right now.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Oh, such a shame.
That's a shame. That's a shame. What's also a shame?
Are good.
Yeah, that's very good. What is also a little bit of a shame is that we're done today.
Oh, geez, it's already 6:55.
Yeah, it's time. It is that time. It flies by when you're talking about Noble Tigers. So, Dodgers at 12:07 today, Game 3 of that series. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow to break that down for you. But stick around, because this is Not On Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up next here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody, as always, jumping in the mornings and hanging out with us. Thanks to Carlo for production assistance. But that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. For Greg Bergman, Marcas Grant. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 to 6:55, right here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel.
See ya. Yeah.